Recently, the other day, you took over the top 10 on iTunes Brazil. Girl, that was
I
insane.
know. I know. I mean, my Brazilian fans are just next level. They are those bitches. Like they really did that.
They really did that. Have you ever thought something like that happening in another country, or it was a Brazilian thing? Oh, they
Never. I've
go so
never
hard.
experienced that.
They go
They
so
really
hard for
do. They
you,
go
girl.
so hard. They're real as hell. Yeah, no, I'm so grateful for them. They
How do you
just
feel when you
blew
saw
my
it,
mind.
like the whole top 10 with only your
I
songs?
know. I cried. I was like, what the heck is this? How is this possible? But it's just a testament to how amazing they are. They've always been so amazing, and the fact that they were able to do that is magical.
Yeah, they are. So about your first solo show was here in Brazil, and Rodrigo, my boss, and he's now listening to this conversation. He's a huge fan of yours.
Hi, Rodrigo. Hi, Rodrigo.
So he told me even was the first time you performed Expectations. By the end of the song, the people was already singing with you. So how it felt living this moment?
Yeah, I mean, it was wild. I mean, first of all, in Sao Paulo, obviously everyone's first language isn't English, it's Portuguese. So
Yeah.
the fact that they were singing the chorus back to me word for word, I was just like, what the heck? Like that's really what made me decide that Expectations was going to be my first single, because I was like, it must have resonated, if someone can be singing the song by the end of it, something they've never heard before, like that must mean it's special, and it made me feel really like warm inside to just see people singing my lyrics back to me with such little knowledge, with no knowledge of it, because it was completely an unreleased song. So it was a really magical experience.
Lentil with Pablo. The public we loved the song because it's amazing. Your voice and this Brazilian instrumental, Pablo's voice. Oh my God, just chef's kiss. How was your
Thank
reaction
you.
the first time listening to it?
Oh my God, I had the same reaction that y'all did, I think. I was just like, oh, like this beat, the switch up, the way that Babo was able to like do the kind of these different dynamics on the pre-chorus and then bring in that new beat to give it, that Brazilian energy. I think it was just incredible. And then of course Pablo's verse was just spectacular. She delivered so much attitude and that high note at the end. I loved it. I loved every part of it.
When we announced our interview with you, some people thought was about your new album because our name, our site's name is Tracklist. So they thought, oh my God, it must be a Lawrence tracklist for the new album. It is not, but I heard it's
It's
already
not.
decided. So
Yes, I
if
have.
if you if you could say to 0 from 100, how's the done percentage of your album?
I think it's like a 89%.
Oh my God, you're so close. Have
I'm
you?
so close. I'm so close. Yeah, and I'm like, it's crazy because there's two times now that I've been trying to go back to LA to finish it, but unfortunately I've been hit with like this like health situation that just forces me to not be able to go anywhere. And so I just not and it's not COVID or anything, but it's
Oh,
just like this situation that just like makes me immobile to a point where I can't get on a plane. So I've just been so frustrated because I'm like, I want to finish it. Like I'm done. Like I'm ready to finish this. But then it's like there's some spiritual, emotional, and physical things that I just have to like go through and figure out and get like out of my system before I can really take that next step.
yeah.
But I'm going to LA next week and I'm
Oh.
going to finally finish.
Have
And
you
I'm
started thinking
really
about
excited.
cover concepts, this kind of stuff? Because even though you want to
Yeah,
release it, you have some couple more time to think about it and plan everything.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, I definitely have an idea for what I want to do. I have different titles that I'm kind of sifting through, and um, I've felt different things about them all, but I definitely have like an idea and a concept. I just have to sit down and, work out the details once the music's actually finished. with
Yeah.
my creative director, and you just like hone in on the concepts and make sure that they're elevated as possible, because I want this to be my best. I don't want it to just be
The
like
album.
half-assed.
Yeah.
Exactly. This is, and
We,
it's the debut album, you know, it's the
yeah.
first
And
one.
we are so excited to hear what you have to say in this album, because your debut album is highly expected since I think 2018. So what do you think is the biggest difference between the album you thought about doing in 2018 for the album you're gonna release in 2020? Because it must have changed some things.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely was able to evolve, and I sonically have evolved a lot. So some of the songs that I thought were going to be on it aren't. So I've been, you know, over the course of these 3 years of having left the group, it's been a very like emotional, personal experience of unraveling who I am from who I thought I had to be. And so through that process and through my art, I've been able to kind of get her being like my higher self out of me, you know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
also work on the shadow self. And so this body of work is like an evolution of me and a working through my shadow self,
Yeah.
to get to the light, you know what I'm saying? And so it's been a process. There's, you know, there's songs that I've written that I really thought were like amazing when I wrote them, and then I listen to them now and I'm like, oh my god, no, this has nothing to do with me anymore, you know? But there's some songs that have just completely standed the test of time and like are such a capsule of how I was feeling and where I was at in those moments. And I think that those are still important to share with people, because even though I've evolved past these songs at this point in my life, there's still a magic to them, and they brought me a healing that I think they can also bring to other people.
Yeah,
So it's
even though you're not the same person, it's important to you acknowledge you are this person in some moment. You feel like, yeah. And
exactly.
what's your inspirations right now? Because I heard the album's kind of alternative R&B and some Latin things.
I think life really is my inspiration more than
Wow.
anything. Like going through life and going through um just the things that I've gone through and watching the world turn as it does, and you know, experiencing growing up and experiencing having to do that the way that I have, which is a very unique experience. I think that all of that has been the most inspiring, because for me art is really about getting out what I'm feeling, like dealing with it, coping with it, and transmuting it into something beautiful instead of just something that's like on my soul, you know?
Yeah.
So I think a lot of the songs are of that nature. Of course, some songs are more playful and some songs are more, you know, like, you know, I've got, you know, my sexy vibes in there too, but I feel like all of those different aspects are aspects of myself as well. Like I'm a diverse person, like every single one of us is, you know,
Yeah.
we're
That's
more
how
than
life
just like
goes.
our sadness or our light. There's so many things in between.
Yeah. So 2020 was a crazy year because we thought about and spend a lot of times with yourselves because pandemic and quarantine, and we also had to fight for our rights, like the protests, the elections. How that influence in your creative process? You gone more introspective or more global?
I think it's kind of both. I feel like we'd have to go internal and heal in here in order for that to project out into the collective. So the more of us that are going inside, the more of a ripple effect that we have on the people around us, and therefore the collective can kind of catch on to that energy. So for me creatively, like this first album, like I said, I've been working on it for 3 years. So a lot of the songs are a residual self that was from that era. The 2020 me, like the person who 2020 took out, like who came out of 2020, is gonna be on the next album. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, so I'm still like in the process of giving birth to this first project, but in that process I've also been processing a lot of other things and writing and doing my like kind of putting together a whole
Yeah.
nother project as well, you know what I'm saying? Because
In the musical industry, sometimes it's easy to feel trapped or lost sometimes. At this moment in your life, do you feel free with your art?
I do.
That's
I do.
awesome.
I finally feel free. There's a lot of reasons why, that y'all will know later. But I absolutely currently as of today, and not as of today, but me in my present moment, I feel incredibly free. I feel like I have power over my own vision and power over my own voice. And I never compromised. And I'm never going to compromise. And I know that that's something that I can attest to, because I feel like in this industry, a lot of people get caught up in profitability and popularity and how to, grow their business. But for me, I had to really rewire what success meant to me. And for me, success is being able to put my heart and soul into my music and make something that moves me and I'm proud of, because I was given this gift by God. It's not something that I'm doing to make money in this realm only. You know what I'm saying? Like this,
Yeah.
like my art is more than just something I can make money off of. It's really my own process of processing my emotions and being able to transmute my own darknesses into light,
Yeah.
So getting very aligned with that has been the most freeing experience ever, because I don't give a fuck what people think about it anymore. If people like it, amazing, I'm grateful. Like, if you guys want to love it so much you put all of my songs in the top 10, I am like over the moon gratitude. You know what I'm saying? Like, that is beautiful. But also my intention isn't to gain all of that extra attention and stuff. Like fame has nothing to do with it for me. Power and money have nothing to do with it for me. Like, it really is about making stuff that connects with people's hearts, and for as many hearts as possible to be able to hear it and feel seen by it,